Carpeting is ruined. Anything in the basement is useless. Books were scattered. Even just 3 feet of water caused extensive damage.
With cars and everything else, probably $30,000 or more.
No doubt about it, 3 feet of water in your living room does make for a big mess, and they will have a lot to clean up. But just a few hundred feet away from their home, you can see another family will have several days before they get inside, and they'll have a much bigger mess to deal with. The Platts still need a boat to get to their house. Inside, 6 feet of water destroyed just about everything.
So much for the basement.
Worst thing I've ever been through in my life. Ever.
The Platts will start over, but many other families are hoping to clean up before the mud dries and salvage what they can.
I thought we'd probably lose everything, but there's hope, you know, there for some of the things. We had a lot of antiques that hopefully they can be restored.
And with flood conditions like this all over town, that is no small statement. Two families, two very common situations. Unfortunately, they are among the first to get back in, so they are the first to open that door and see what's inside. Many of the people here in the shelter will have that opportunity over the next several days and perhaps into next week. Unfortunately, that will be played out many more times in the next few days. Charlie?
And Mark, beginning tomorrow, people can start applying for assistance?
That is correct. The number is 1-800-462-7585. It will be you will be able to call that number between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m., and that will be, we are told, manned 7 days a week. So that is the number to call beginning tomorrow to get some help.
All right, that is Mark Keller reporting from Frankfort, Kentucky. Thanks very much, Mark. It's the Ohio River that's now becoming even more of a threat.
Meteorologist Dave Frazier has more from Storm Center 5. Dave?
Yeah, the crest not really expected until we get into the latter part of tomorrow, but it's not that far from as high as it will go. It stands at 63.2 right now. It's going to go to 64 feet at 7 p.m. on Wednesday. Again, this is the highest we've seen it since 1964 when it hit a level of 66.2 feet. And again, flood stage is only 52. A couple other points along the Ohio to pass along to you. These are the current river levels as of a few hours ago at the Meldal Dam, 59.6, Maysville 59.9, and over at the Markland Dam it stands at 57.7. Here is a look now at the crest that we expect along those areas. 60.2 at the Markland Dam at 1 a.m. on Thursday. That'll be the last area for the crest. And then earlier, 7 a.m. Wednesday for both Maysville and the Meldal Dam. 61 feet at the Meldal Dam and 69 at Maysville. We will continue to watch the rivers. We have more rain on the way and the potential for flash flooding. I'll get to all of the details at 5:16 in my full weathercast. Back to Charlie and Carolina.
Okay, we will check with you then. There's anywhere from 300 to 400 people out of their homes in Silver Grove tonight.
And efforts to help them with clothing, food, and shelter are fortunately picking up. So much of this river town along Route 8 in Kentucky is heavily flooded. That includes the Lakeview Trailer Park, where dozens of mobile homes are vacant and badly damaged by the river. It may be several days yet before any of the people in this area will be allowed back into their homes. Some of those who remember the flood of '64 tell us this one is not quite so devastating, but it is close enough.
In Adams County, they're watching the rising Ohio River, which has already forced hundreds of people to flee their homes and close dozens of businesses. Among the hardest hit towns is Manchester, right on the river. News 5 Chef Hirsch was there today with a man who knows the river very well.
I think we had it in '64, one about like this. I was 6 years old, was in this same boat with my dad and my grandpa.
Rodney Yates is now helping others with this boat, even though he may need some help himself. Yates runs a marina upstream, part of which is now downstream.
It came down, it washed out my whole business. We caught the gas dock as it come down the river. It came 10 miles down before we got a hold of it. We went out with a boat, pulled it in the shore. Right now it's tied off out at the park.
Yates brought Life Squad member Mike Hansen back home by boat. Hansen had been gone for 3 days helping others with the ambulance. The house was waterlogged.
As bad as this is, virtually half the town underwater, it's only going to get worse when the water goes down. That's when the cleanup begins.
Rodney Yates will be here for that, too.
That's river life. If you're going to live on the river, you got to get used to it. I've been here all my life, 39 years, and I'm used to it.
Jeff Hirsch, Cincinnati's News 5.
And a shelter in Manchester is available again tonight at the high school.
Flooding is also forcing people out of their homes in Indiana. In Switzerland County, a few families have evacuated in the city of Patriot. Several people have also been forced out of Florence, and there have been evacuations along the river in Vevey. The flooding has shut down State Route 156 in Vevey and has closed part of State Route 56. Also, some evacuations are underway in Lawrenceburg. Lawrenceburg officials tell News 5 they are closing the 2 floodgates by the railroad tracks. Indiana Governor Frank O'Bannon has now declared an emergency in 10 Indiana counties, including Switzerland, Dearborn, and Ohio counties in our viewing area. In Kentucky, Governor Paul Patton has asked the president to declare 9 counties disaster areas, including Pendleton and Bracken counties. Late this afternoon, President Clinton approved the Kentucky request for federal aid. And in Ohio today, Governor George Vogel added Claremont and Hamilton counties to the state's disaster list. President Clinton today signed declarations for the other 14 counties that had previously been declared state disaster areas. An update tonight on how flooding is going to affect, of all things, the circus.
As you can see from Sky 5, Marion Way is simply too flooded right now to get the animals to the Coliseum. An alternative route could have been Pete Rose Way, but that has shut down too. Because of the flooding, the circus is now canceled through Friday. Tickets are exchangeable for the weekend shows. Now, if the weekend shows end up getting canceled, tickets will be refunded. A major artery into the city is no longer passable tonight.
This is a big one. Part of Columbia Parkway was shut down today. The road is shut down from Delta to the Beachmont Levee. Motorists should take Eastern Avenue to the Beachmont Levee instead. It's tough getting in and out of the city of Cincinnati from the suburbs, especially the east side. Some road closings you need to know about. Kellogg Avenue is shut down from Eastern Avenue to 5 Mile Road. Route 32 is closed between Beachmont and Newtown. If you need to get into I-275, the ramps at 5 Mile are underwater. And Red Bank is closed at Wooster and Beachmont Circle.
Damage in Ohio alone is estimated at $35 million. In Kentucky, damage is roughly estimated at up to $232 million. News 5's Betsy Ross brings us more storm team coverage from Newport.
Check for any other propane tanks that might be floating back there.
The threat of explosion is just one of the dangers swept in by the rising Ohio River.
They should go out first opportunity that they get. When the water's coming up, just leave.
3-5, 359.
The Coast Guard is going door to door in Louisville to make sure that everyone is safe, because officials warn this is not a flood to try to wait out at home.
There's quite a bit of current in here. If you're not careful, you could be swept into that current.
Nearly a dozen southern Indiana counties are under a state of emergency. Hundreds of homes already have been lost to the flooding, and the water is still rising.
Sit here and watch and pray.
In Cincinnati, the streets nearest the river already are underwater, but the hardest hit is Falmouth, Kentucky, where residents barely had time to escape before their houses disappeared. But not everyone left willingly. 100-year-old Jewel Beckett wanted to stay. Her neighbors made her go.
I ended up here at a bus. They loaded me and brought me out, me a ticket.
All along the Ohio River Valley, families are reluctantly leaving their homes, not knowing what they will come home to when the waters finally recede.
And that was Betsy Ross reporting from Newport.
One lady's 100 years old, and they took her out kicking. Didn't want to go. Yeah, we're going to have continuing storm team coverage of Floodwatch 97 ahead on Cincinnati's News 5.
Ahead at 5:30, we'll take you to Brown County as the National Guard is brought in to aid the flood victims.
And at 6, the tragedies from the floods. We'll have a personal look at one of the people who lost their life in the flooding.
But first, a warning for the folks affected by the floods. Don't let scam artists turn you into a victim. We'll have important advice up ahead.
Plus, a wrap-up of the other news of the day, including the investigation into an accident.
Oh, I see you're looking at a bank.
A bank? This is a computer, sir.
To me, it's a bank. All of these are banks. A bank you can use at home, a bank you can take on a plane, a bank that can help you take control of your money.
With the Huntington Web Bank, you're in control. Have secure access to your account anytime you want. Check your balance, pay your bills, all through your computer.
Eddie, I'm going to take $100 off. $100 free.
You know, you can get this exact bank next door for a much better deal.
It's March in the tri-state. There's just one thing on everybody's mind. You're right, Chevy Madness. Because a Lumina test drive gets you a Chevy Madness basketball, no charge. Lumina's worry-free, especially for just $239 a month. Chevy Lumina, just $239 a month. And a Chevy Madness basketball, no charge, but only during Chevy Madness. So break away to your local Tri-State Chevy dealers now.
On the next Extra, that's the bus that always cuts you off, the guy who never signals, and the woman who can't find her accelerator. They'll never change, but you can. Extra shows you how to keep your cool and conquer road rage. Then, a little boy's brave struggle.
He's our heart and our hero.
Thanks to a gift from his baby sister, he's beating cancer. It's the heartwarming tale of the little fighter. The story's only on Extra.
Tonight at 7 on Cincinnati's 5.
And all that jazz. Come on, babe, I know a whoopee spot where the gin is cold, but the piano's hot. It's just a noisy hall where there's a nightly brawl. And all that jazz.
Charge by phone 241-7469. A Fifth Third Bank Broadway Series presentation.
Cotton Mill Spring Cleanup. Matching bath towels, hand towels, washcloths, and fashion colors. $1 off each piece. Savings to 50%. Now at your nearby Cotton Mill store.
The flooding indirectly caused some big headaches and a double bang for a tri-state grain storage company.
2 silos owned by Cargill Grain ruptured in Anderson Township. All the workers were safely evacuated from the premises while firefighters were called to the Kellogg Road facility. A fire department spokesman says the rising floodwaters caused the grain to expand and split the 2 silos. No damage estimate yet, but no one was injured.
Arson. That's what investigators are identifying as the cause of a Newport fire. Newport firefighters were called to a vacant house at 941 Central Avenue at about 5:30 this morning. It's the 3rd fire reported at this address since last Thursday. Today's fire spread to an adjoining building at 939 Central Avenue, leaving both buildings heavily damaged. Fortunately, no one was injured. A nasty 3-car accident on I-75 this morning resulted in one man having to be cut out of his car. Cincinnati police say it happened around 9 o'clock on southbound I-75 at the 7th Street exit. Driver Charles Wintermeyer was taken to Good Samaritan Hospital where he was treated and released. One other driver was cited for making the improper lane change police say caused that pileup.
The mother of John Benet Ramsey has turned in a 3rd handwriting sample to police. The 6-year-old beauty queen was found strangled in her own home last December. Police are still trying to find out who wrote a ransom note that was left in the home and discovered by the mother. The Ramsey family has now issued an internet plea for police to clear the girl's half-brother in the investigation as prosecutors continue to check out his alibi.
The widow of Olympic wrestler David Schultz has filed a civil suit against millionaire John DuPont. DuPont was found guilty but mentally ill in the shooting death of David Schultz. Nancy Schultz is seeking compensatory and punitive damages. She did not specify any amount of money she is seeking.
And of course, here at home, a lot of folks are keeping an eye out on the weather as the Ohio continues to rise.
We'll have the updated forecast, and we'll look into other areas around the region that are trying to head off the floods.
And I'm Evelyn Robertson, live in Florence. The Storm Center 5 emergency support team is in action. I'll show you how you can join the team and help the flood victims at the same time when Cincinnati's News 5 continues.
Imagination. At Warner Cable, we know something about it. After all, we're part of Time Warner. The people who've been sparking imaginations for years. And now we're turning our imaginations into a new reality. The future. Warner Cable is now Time Warner Cable. Imagine what's next.
Do you need a first-quality used car or truck today? McCluskey has the answer.
I'm a first-time buyer without a cosigner. Can I get a car today?
Yes, you can.
I don't have a down payment, but I am due a tax refund. Can I get a car today?
Yes, you can.
But I only take home $150 a week. Can I get a car today?
Yes, you can. We'll even file your rapid refund tax return free of charge, and you can drive home in a McCluskey first-quality used car or truck today. Call McCluskey Chevrolet now at the one number, 761-1111.
At Carpetland, we back every carpet we sell with exceptional value. And now, while supplies last, you can get double the value during our incredible buy one, get one free sale. It's Carpetland's best sale of the year. Buy 1 yard of wear-dated carpet at our regular low price and get the second yard free. Wear-dated carpet gives you beautiful styles and colors for every decor with unsurpassed quality and durability. Hurry into Carpetland and every second yard is free with 6 months same as cash. Sale ends Monday, so hurry.
Cincinnati's News 5 weather, sponsored by Xavier University.
Have you ever considered how different your life could be if you had your college degree? The opportunities, the choices you would have. Through Xavier University's Center for Adult and Part-Time Students, you can attend classes and earn your undergraduate degree with students your own age during daytime or evening hours. Find out more about transcript evaluation and easy registration by scheduling a personal advising appointment. Call Xavier today at 745-3355.
And now we have some important information to pass along to flood victims.
Yeah, it's good information. The Kentucky Attorney General's office has issued tips on common scams that are pulled after a natural disaster. If someone is offering to do repair or cleaning work, check them out through the Better Business Bureau or Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division. For any work, insist on a written contract describing the work and its cost. Never pay up front. Also, beware of charities claiming they're collecting for victims. Check out the identities of the people claiming to represent charities and demand ID from people claiming to be government officials. Con artists may pose as building inspectors, ordering repairs they can do on the side.
Downriver in Louisville, volunteers are working on a massive effort to hold back the waters of the river. More than 50 trucks of sand, along with more than 150,000 bags, have been brought in to reinforce Louisville's flood wall. Officials don't know if they'll need all the bags, but they want to be prepared. Military police are moving into Manchester, Ohio. Police are guarding the homes that were evacuated because of the flooding. About 8,500 people call Manchester home. 2 remain missing since the flash floods first hit on Saturday.
Today, our cameras caught one person who is literally taking his life into his own hands. Look at this. The pictures tell the story. This kayaker was racing down the river with its currents. This video was shot near the Coliseum downtown this afternoon. We must stress this is extremely dangerous, and we do not advise anyone at home to try this. Remember, the river is high, running very fast. Its challenges could turn deadly. I would like to proclaim that gentleman nuts.
Stupid.
Yeah,
it was
both.
Yeah. Well, of course, the big concern now is whether we're going to get more rain.
Meteorologist Dave Frazier joins us from Storm Center 5. David?
Yeah, we are going to get a little more rain, unfortunately. And, you know, since midnight last night, we have not had any rain. I don't expect the rain to arrive till after midnight tonight. So that would give us our first dry day. I had to go back to March 25th to find the last completely 24-hour dry period. That means we've had rain for 6 consecutive days, today being the first dry one. And again, it is only a one-day break because more rain is on the way. Outside right now, boy, you talk about pictures telling the story. There's a picture that tells the story on Sky 5. You know you got problems when your buildings downtown are completely surrounded by water. Next, we're at Doppler 5 right now. The next area of rain doesn't look all that impressive. Here it is right here, a weak little band of rain off to our north and west. What you can't see on the radar picture just yet is the moisture that later on tonight will come streaming in here to set the stage for our next round of rain. Take a look at the Super Doppler radar right now. I've got it looking out a little better than 100 miles, not picking up anything in the immediate area, but as we go through the late night hours tonight and tomorrow morning, check in with Julie Broski first thing in the morning, I think we'll start to pick up the rain moving into the area. And unfortunately, I think it's a 12-hour event starting right around 7 and lasting until we get into the evening hours. Now, how much rain can we get? Through Thursday, and again, it looks like it's an all-day Wednesday, but through Thursday morning, we could see between a quarter of an inch across most of the tri-state, and then over the hardest hit areas, as much as a half an inch, with even more, maybe 1 1/4 inches further south and east of that area. Now, here is what we use as the guidance, the flash flood guidance, to determine whether or not we will have flash flooding problems. Because this area in green is completely saturated, the ground is just so soaked, it cannot take any more moisture. Here's what we're going to use for the guidance. If 1/4, about a 1/4 of an inch of rain falls in 1 hour over any given area, there can be flash flooding problems. If 9/10 of an inch of rain falls in a 6-hour period, there can be flash flooding problems. So it's all going to depend on how this rain comes down. Does it come down widespread? Does it come down at an even pace and allows it to get into the grounds and doesn't affect the rivers? Or does it come down in a burst and therefore causing some flash flooding problems? Well, the National Weather Service right now has put out a flash flood watch for Brown, Adams, and for Highland County because They believe the rain will come down at such a pace to cause more problems in south central Ohio. We will keep you posted as the rain moves in. Here's your forecast now for the evening. Just a few clouds around there. Sun broke through the clouds. We're going to keep the skies clear as long as we can. Temperature at about 50 degrees. As we go through the nighttime, unfortunately, the clouds roll back in again. I don't expect the rain to arrive till after midnight. We drop to 45. In the morning, the showers are out there. It will turn breezy. And as we go through the afternoon, we got rain back in the forecast. Could be heavy, especially south and east of the metro. We top at 51 early, and then late in the afternoon, the temperatures will drop steadily. Thursday and Friday, another shot to dry out here. Both days, it'll be a cold one on Thursday. Friday, we will warm out to end out the work week. And by Saturday and Sunday, another chance of showers. And for those that have to work and have maybe been flooded out and are thinking they've got a weekend ahead to go home and kind of clean up, it doesn't look like you're going to get the best weather to do that in.
Well, that's a shame.
No break inside is the way I look at it.
There is a heartwarming part to this story,
Well,
and we're going to do that now. Thousands of you have joined our Storm Team 5 emergency support team to bring aid to the flood victims. News 5, B105, Walmart, and Plains Moving and Storage have joined forces to move tons of supplies into the flood-ravaged areas. Let's go to News 5's Evelyn Robertson live at Walmart in Florence to find out how this small army of volunteers is making out. Evelyn?
Well, it's been going just great. You know, this truck, when we first got here about 2 hours ago, they were just starting to fill it up. And I don't know if you can see too well behind me, but I'd say it's about a third to a half full already. And that's because people have been coming in a steady stream. They're backing in their cars and trucks, unloading tons of canned goods, clothes, bottled water. And Walmart employees who are loading the truck up are happy to take it all. Now, this is the third truck to be filled out here, and I wouldn't be surprised if it is filled to capacity by 9 o'clock tonight. Now, people are gladly giving out of the goodness of their hearts.
You see the water all the way up to the rooftops, and you know they've lost everything.
Just to help those people out, because I'm in a high and dry place, and, you know, it's just my heart to help whenever I can do it.
So you're feeling fortunate?
Oh, yes, very.
Okay, and back out here at the Walmart, remember, there are trucks in front of 5 Walmarts in the Tri-States, and here are the locations for you. The collection for Hamilton County is going on at the Fields Erdl store in Governor's Plaza. Collections for Claremont, Brown, and Adams County go to the Eastgate store in Eastgate Plaza. Grant and Kenton go to the Florence store right here. And Campbell and Pendleton counties, you can drop off supplies at the Alexandria Walmart. If you live in Dearborn County, go to the Walmart store in Aurora at the Walmart Supercenter. Again, that's 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. through Sunday. And I just want to assure everyone that their donations will get to where they're going, to the flood victims. Back to you.
Evelyn, it is nice to see all those folks amidst all this devastation. Thanks very much. That is Evelyn Robertson reporting live from Florence.
Much more to come on News 5 at 5. Can the city where you live help determine if you're thin or fat? We'll wait until you hear about a new report.
Plus, a water boil advisory in our area due to the flooding. We'll tell you who's affected. Stay with us.
Get ready for a whole new kind of barbecue. Honey Barbecue Tender Roast from KFC.
Lips sucked and tongue tickling, honey, you're the one. Ooh, this new barbecue, it's finger-licking fun.
Our juicy Tender Roast chicken, tangy honey barbecue sauce. When these two get together, it's finger-licking fun.
It's finger-licking fun, baby, listen to me. Everybody needs a little KFC.
He had it coming.
He had it coming.
And if you'd have been there, I bet you would have done
241-7469, a Fifth Third Bank Broadway Series presentation.
Hey, there's a big benefit when you see your Ford dealers right now. Big savings.
Right now, get $1,000 cash back or 3-9 financing on Ford Taurus. That's $1,000 cash back or 3-9 financing on Taurus. Or get $1,000 cash back or 3-9 financing on Ford Escort. That's $1,000 cash back or 3-9 financing on Escort. Hurry, $1,000 cash back or 3-9 financing on a new Taurus or Escort ends soon.
See your Tri-State quality Ford dealer, where there's more to afford.
For the fun time of their lifetime, enroll your children in the Goddard Summer Camp. There's swimming, horseback riding, kite flying, trips to the zoo, and much, much more. For a Goddard summer your children will never forget. Call 1-800-GODDARD.
Cincinnati's News 5 Healthcast, sponsored by Revco.
At Revco, your trust has always been important to us. And just as you trust our pharmacies, you can also trust the quality of Revco brand products.
Revco brands are found in every aisle of our store. Each one is top quality, as good as any national brand, yet you'll pay only about half as much. And if you're not satisfied, we'll refund your money. Revco, a friend for life.
This was, of course, inevitable. The flooding is affecting several water supplies around the tri-state region.
New Richmond has now issued a boil advisory. Health officials say you need to bring your water to a rolling boil 3 to 5 minutes before using it. The Cincinnati Health Department also has issued safety tips for people affected by water advisories. Officials recommend that until the public water supply in your area is declared safe, water for drinking or cooking should be brought to a vigorous boil for 10 minutes.
Jessica Dubroff was the 7-year-old girl who was attempting to be the youngest person to fly a plane across the country. Today, the government released the official report on the crash that killed the girl, her father, and her instructor. Preliminary findings suggest the plane was overweight when it took off last April. The investigation also finds there are indications that the flight instructor was at the controls when the plane went down. Since the tragedy, Congress has issued bans at record-setting attempts by unlicensed pilots.
Here's food for thought. Can a city make you fat? Well, a new study finds Ohio's largest cities have obesity rates that are the highest in the nation. Cleveland comes in 5th, Columbus 7th, and Cincinnati 8th. The Coalition for Excess Weight Risk Education looked at 33 cities. Restaurant-rich New Orleans came in number 1. Surprise, surprise. The study found cold winter weather could be a factor in putting on the pounds. Nothing else to do but stay inside and eat, I guess.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, it's taking a lot more than a helping hand to get flood victims out of Brown County.
The floods have turned deadly here in Brown County. I'm Darrell Carver. I'll have an update on the recovery efforts.
Also ahead, the waters continue to rise in neighboring Indiana counties.
And some relief may be in sight between emergency crews and sunnier skies. Victims may find some much-needed help.
Quench your thirst for savings and make the Mart your next stop for Pepsi. Generation Next. All varieties of Pepsi products are featured at Ameristop. Pick up a 12-pack today. Remember to shop the Mart for milk. It does a body good. Plus, the savings are good when you're in the mood for a gallon of Ameristop milk. Produced locally by Trout Dairy.
Trout Dairy has done it again. Introducing new fat-free milk. A 2% taste, but with 0 fat grams. 0 fat, a great 2% taste, and more. Fat-free is fortified with 500 milligrams of calcium per serving. Calcium fortified. Trout also added Plus AB, the active cultures for active lifestyles. Calcium and Plus AB with 0 fat grams. Try new great-tasting fat-free milk from Trout. A really good product that's really good for you and me.
This is the sound of small businesses doing more business with Fridays free. They're doing more because thanks to Sprint, all their long distance on Fridays is free, while the rest of the week they're still getting Sprint's low flat rates. Even better, call now and get Fridays free until the year 2000 with no term commitment. Call 1-800-598-5000 for Fridays free, only from Sprint Business.
What you gonna do with all the cash you save?
Brakes need work? Stop at your local CarX. You'll save a bundle during our half-off brake sale. Lifetime guaranteed brake shoes and pads are now half off. That's 50% off when you drive into CarX for brakes now.
What you gonna do with all the cash you save?
So stop by CarX for big savings on brake shoes and pads. But you better hurry. Our half-off brake sale will be half over before you know it.
Save a bundle, call the CarX man.
You're watching WLWT, Cincinnati's 5. This is News 5 at 5:30.
Dump trucks and sandbags were not enough. The governor calls the National Guard in to help rescue people from the flood. One person is feared dead in Brown County as the result of this week's floods. Good evening, everyone. I'm Caroline Thaw.
And I'm Courtis Fuller. Many folks there are still holding their breath, waiting for floodwaters to recede. There, the National Guard pitched in with relief efforts, but the task is very huge. Up to 500 buildings in that county have been damaged. News 5's Darrell Carver shows us how people in small river communities have pulled together.
For Mark and Francis Porter, this was the first time they've set foot in their own house after 2 days in a Red Cross shelter. They live on higher ground than most, but neighbors down the street weren't so fortunate.
A lot of people's running. And a lot of trailers getting jerked out and put everywhere. I mean, they're scattered all over Aberdeen just to get them out away from the water.
Today, many of those neighbors had to pull together to battle rising water.
Up over behind me was the Aberdeen Trailer Park, right along the riverbank here, and then we got a city park right on down the street from that that is completely underwater.
Near that park lives Leo Thomas. Unfortunately, he can't pick up and move his house. His street's already underwater, and now it's creeping up his steps.
I get the backwater from the creeks that's overflowed, and then I got in the front, I have the river that's overflowed.
Same story, different town, right up the road in Ripley. Street you see behind me is called Pond Drive, and right now it's unfortunately more than living up to that name. And this used to be Ripley's downtown. 30 businesses here are now underwater. That's not to mention the numerous homeowners still waiting for the river to crest. It's at a time like this that the porters give thanks for higher ground. Daryl Carver, Cincinnati's News 5.
Now tomorrow, Federal Emergency Management will come and take a look at the damage in both towns. As many as 60 homes in Ripley are damaged by water. More than 50 homes in Aberdeen were damaged.
Tri-Staters are responding with generous donations to flood victims tonight, but getting that material to those who need it is a big job. News 5's Mark Kaler joins us from Falmouth with more on that operation. Mark?
That's right, Caroline. You can see the end result behind me here. They are feeding dinner tonight to the folks here at the Pendleton County High School shelter. That's the end result, but there's an awful lot of work that goes into getting this food here and getting it prepared. And believe me, a lot of people are putting in 18-hour days to get that job done. Williamstown's fire station is now a clearinghouse for donations. Now, I hesitate to use the word warehouse because these items simply don't stay there very long. They're loaded up and taken on very circuitous routes to various parts of Butler and Falmouth that are otherwise unreachable by the traditional routes. Now, contrary to some rumors, the southern sections of Falmouth are getting these items, and the needs are coming into focus.
The only thing we don't need anything of is like paper goods, like toilet paper, paper towels. Bottled water is our big, I'd say, highest commodity we need the most of. We're sending out, we've already sent out 2 truckloads of water, and we got 1 more coming. So bottled water is the biggest thing.
Now, I've just literally in the past few minutes been handed this list from the people here at the shelter. These are things they say they need the most. I'm going to read it very quickly because it is fairly long. So if you hear something that I mentioned that you can supply, that might be something you can begin to look at. Now, they need plastic gloves, hand cleanser, deodorant, Desitin, Q-tips, shampoo, feminine products, baby powder, baby shampoo, Pedialyte, money donations, of course, baby wipes, hand wipes and towelettes, towels, Mylanta, Imodium AD, ketchup, pepper, mustard, sugar, mayo, flour, salt, and underwear, both men's and women's underwear. It's a rather lengthy list, but these are the very practical things that they need in these shelters to get through the next few days, Caroline.
Yeah, we cannot stress enough it is the bare necessities we're looking for. Thank you, Mark Kaler, reporting live from Falmouth, Kentucky. They're cracking down on flooded parts of Campbell County tonight.
Only people who live in Silver Grove along Kentucky Route 8 are being let in. Even so, not everyone can get to their home or trailer. That's how bad it is. And that's the area we want to show you now.
I'm John London on the flooded river that has overtaken the river town of Silver Grove. I'm on the boat of firefighter Jerry Allender, and from this vantage point, you can see what this community is suffering with from this damaging flood. Trailers, trucks, cars, basements, first floors, a watery cover from this flood. We had to climb a fence, cross a muddy field, and walk blocks just to get here. One woman telling us just head for the mess. Go this way and head for the mess, and a mess it is. Well over 300 people evacuated. The whole west side of Silver Grove flooded out. The east side with water in the basements, and authorities are advising everyone here to boil water and are telling sightseers to stay out. Please stay out because they don't want a crowd here. You can see the kind of problems that they are dealing with. Cleanup is going to be a monumental task here in Silver Grove, but it can't come too soon for the people in this Campbell County community. I'm John London in Silver Grove.
And John adds that it may be Saturday at the earliest before some people will be able to get back into their homes and trailers right there in Silver Grove.
The high water prompted federal officials to close off a large portion of the Ohio River to commercial traffic today. The Army Corps of Engineers closed the river from just downstream of Cincinnati all the way to Louisville. The flooding sidelined a number of barges along the river. No word when the river will be reopened. Indiana's governor declares 10 counties emergency areas today. That's a warning to residents that flooding could get worse. Take a look at Dearborn County in Indiana. These are aerial shots of that county practically underwater today. But one business, the Argosy Casino in Lawrenceburg, says it's staying open. Floodwaters are expected to rise throughout southern Indiana this week.
When the weather is this bad, you really have to count your blessings. We're lucky enough to have dry weather in most of the tri-state today. Can we look forward to more of the same? Meteorologist Dave Frazier has the latest from Storm Center 5. Dave?
I think I got the worst job today, Curtis, when it comes to talking about more rain in the forecast. Today is a dry day. It will stay that way till midnight. It is our first dry day in 6 days, but it is a one-day event because more rain is on the way. Take a look now at live Super Doppler radar scanning the skies at over 150 miles. Nothing out there yet, but I think after midnight tonight, we will start to see rain pushing in from the south and west. How much rain? Another quarter to a half an inch over some very soaked areas that don't need it, and an inch possible as we get further south and east of the metro. There could be some flash flooding to deal with tomorrow. I'm going to talk about that and give you a complete 5-day forecast coming up at 5:47. Curtis?
All right, thanks a lot, Dave. Well, the Ohio River has now spilled onto downtown streets. All streets south of 3rd Street in downtown Cincinnati are closed to traffic. What is this damage doing to the downtown district? News 5's Betsy Ross is live in Newport with the very latest. Betsy?
Well, Curtis, we can give you an up-close look at just what this water is doing. We are here along Riverboat Row in Newport. Of course, there should be a street out here, and there is under about 10 feet of water or so. But this is Riverboat Row. Of course, all of these restaurants here along the river, they have been closed for the last few days just because of the high water, and that water is still rising. You talked about the water that is in downtown Cincinnati. Those streets have been closed off now for a day or so. Of course, the problem is once the waters recede, then you have to worry about what kind of damage that this water caused to some of the infrastructure. What it's done to some of the bridges, you have to worry about how they are holding up with all this water. And of course the streets themselves, as we see every winter, the streets are battered anyway because of the bad weather, because of heat and then cold. Now they have this water on top of that. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of damage we will see once all this flooding is gone, exactly how everything held up. Now, if you were with us, about 45 minutes ago or so, you might remember that we checked here when we got here first at 11:30. Our crew's been here since 11:30 this morning. When we first got here, we came down here at the river and we put a drinking straw right by the level of the water where it was at 11:30 this morning. Now, about 45 minutes ago, we checked and there was about 1 inch of that straw showing. You can see right about now there's only about a 1/2 inch of that straw showing. So you can see just how quickly this water is rising. In fact, the straw almost disappeared right there. So that gives you an idea of just in the last 5 hours or so, it's been enough to almost cover that drinking straw. That shows you just how quickly the water is rising here in this area, Curtis.
Betsy, I know that they're trying to keep a lot of people away from that area. What's being done to make sure that people, sightseers, just stay away?
Honestly, Curtis, there's been a lot of warnings, but it's not doing any good. Jim, my photographer, will pan up here along the flood wall, and you can see, you know, people are out of school now, and people are coming home from work, and they're bringing the families down, and they're seeing what the river looks like. There have been many warnings, as you have talked about, and we've talked about on the news the last couple of days, that the police, city managers are telling people, please don't do this, because police have a hard enough job just trying to keep things going with all this water. People are still going to come down. They're bringing their cameras. Yes, it is history, but it's also dangerous, especially for people who get as close to the water as we are.
Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot. Betsy Ross reporting live from Newport, Kentucky.
Well, you've seen the damage. Now find out how you can be part of the solution.
Up next, Storm Team 5's emergency support team helps flood victims out of a crisis.
That's right. I'm Evelyn Robertson, live in Florence. We're getting a lot of donations coming in. Coming up, I'll show you how they're being distributed and getting to the people who need it most. For Cincinnati's News 5 continues.
Florence Buick GMC purchased TL Christian, but GM refuses to ship any additional cars or trucks until Florence Buick GMC sells the existing inventory. So Florence Buick GMC is cleaning house. Every new car in stock, 99 cents over factory invoice. We'll show you any invoice. You pay us just 99 cents more than we paid Buick, and any car in stock is yours until present inventory is gone. Florence Buick GMC, 2 minutes off I-75 at exit 181, Florence.
99 cents for 5 nuggets?
99 cents!
Did you know Wendy's 5-piece chicken nuggets are just 99 cents every day?
Excuse me?
This price is every day?
That's right.
Dave is proud to present 5 crispy chicken nuggets for 99 cents every day.
99 cents is not going to change?
This is not like for a week.
I don't know what to say.
That's a good nugget.
What a bargain.
Good deal.
That's white meat. 5 nuggets for 99 cents.
Never seen a chicken deal that good.
It's quite possibly the best deal in chicken.
It's worth crossing the road for.
Cincinnati's 5 wants to help local schools get the tools they need.
As part of our Operation Education project, we've made a commitment to help match area schools with individuals or companies who have equipment to donate.
Computers, books, and other badly needed supplies can be donated to any local school program.
If you have a need or if you have an item to donate, call the Feedback 5 phone line at 352-5555 for more information on tools for schools.
He had it coming.
He had it coming. And if you'd have been there,
I bet you would have done
241-7469, a Fifth Third Bank Broadway Series presentation.
So I get this mail from Progressive saying they have a smart new way to shop for auto insurance.
Progressive, can I help you?
They give you their rates plus the rates of several other companies. I wonder whose rates are going to be lowest.
It looks like you could save over $200 if you went with...
What? You're an insurance company?
Hey, we know how hard it is to shop for auto insurance. A lot of times we're the lowest. Sometimes we're not.
That's not what I expected from an insurance company. And then he said, well, maybe you should.
Call 1-800-AUTO-PRO or your authorized independent agent.
Of course, the effort to help those in need is in full swing tonight.
It sure is, and we've been talking a lot about this. It's called Storm Team 5's Emergency Support Team. Thousands of Tri-State residents are joining our team effort. And beginning early this morning and throughout the day, I got a first-hand look at folks really getting involved.
We haven't even decided to total up this bowl yet.
There was a willing spirit of giving to help folks hit hard by area flooding. Susie Stowe of Florence showed that spirit. She brought in many items and then purchased others right here at Walmart. She understands this problem. Some of her family members were hit by the floods.
Unless you've been through it yourself, I think some people just really don't know what to do.
Get the cart out of the way.
Literally hundreds and hundreds of people dropped off items. This really is a team effort.
I have a lot of neighbors who are homeless now. Their homes literally washed away, and it's just horrifying.
B105, Walmart, News 5, and Plains Moving and Storage are spending the next few days being a part of the solution to what is a tragic problem. Someone who knows all about being a team player, Bengals great, Bruce Kozerski.
These people bounce back. It's just human nature. But they need a helping hand right now.
And Bruce says it best. Folks need a helping hand. And this is something we're going to do for the next several days at 5 Walmart locations all around the tri-state.
You know, it's kind of like a silver lining to a disaster. Donations are coming in at a steady pace. Let's go live to the Walmart in Florence right now, where News 5's Evelyn Robertson continues our live Flood Watch 97 coverage. Evelyn?
Well, Caroline, this is going like clockwork out here. Let me show you how it works. People just come from their cars, or they pull their car up here, like this woman has just done, open up the trunk and unload whatever they have, their boxes, their bags, bring them over here, and they leave them on the back of the truck, and Jim here picks it up and loads it to the front. I'm telling you, a truck just like this, actually filled to the brim, left here at 3:30 this afternoon. It arrived at St. Vincent de Paul in Crescent Springs, and everybody there was able to unload tons of donations, whether it's bottled water or clothing. All of this is going to be delivered to 11 counties in northern Kentucky. Now, there are several trucks just like this, don't forget, but we're just trying to show you how this is working. The St. Vincent de Paul, in fact, has expanded its hours of operation in order to get things to these counties, and this will be going on like this all week. I want you to understand that these Walmart locations, these trucks, are going to bring these supplies, your donations, to clergy, firefighters, and emergency services. And those people know exactly where to bring these supplies. Back to you in the studio.
Okay, thanks a lot, Evelyn. Again, Evelyn Robertson reporting live. And to give you an idea, that was a 45-foot truck the 45-foot trucks that are filling up there. A lot of donations coming in. Curtis?
Yeah, it really is amazing out there. And again, as we want to point out, you can join our Storm Team 5 emergency support team and really help families devastated by the floods. As we said earlier, News 5, in cooperation with Plains Moving and Storage, Walmart, and B105 are gathering donations. Just drop off supplies at one of the 5 locations. Here they are. Governor's Plaza, Walmart, at 9365 Field Erdel Road in Cincinnati. The other is Eastgate Plaza, Walmart, at 4370 Eastgate Square. Walmart, Florence, that's 4999 Houston Road in Florence, Kentucky. That's where Evelyn was. Village Green, Walmart, at 6711 Alexandria Pike, that's over in Alexandria, Kentucky. And then Walmart Super Center, that's at 100 Sycamore Estates Drive in Aurora, Indiana.
The floodwaters have closed a number of tri-state streets.
Yeah, up next, we'll continue our coverage of those closings, this time on northern Kentucky roads.
And this isn't the first time Cincinnati has seen such disaster. Up next, Cincinnati's flood history. Stay with us.
It's Cotton Mill's annual spring cleanup sale featuring name brand products from one of America's largest mills. Matching bath towels, hand towels, and washcloths in fashion colors, $1 off each piece. Savings up to 50%. Selected kitchen towels, 4 for $3. Assorted pot holders, 3 for $1. Selected oven mitts, 4 for $3. Washcloths, $3.96 a dozen. Hollow fill pillows starting at $7. There are bargains galore at your nearby Cotton Mill store.
We were looking for our first refrigerator.
I needed a new washer and dryer.
We remodeled our entire kitchen.
When these people needed new appliances, they knew just where to go. Circuit City. Circuit City has the best top brands and guaranteed low prices. And right now, all appliances are on sale. Save on refrigerators, washers, dryers, and microwaves from Whirlpool, Maytag, GE, and more. When you need new appliances, there's only one place to go.
Circuit City.
You can't get a lower price. We guarantee it.
The big hitters of the PGA Tour are about to get some help. Peter Jacobsen has a new coach. Jeff Maggart's getting strategy tips. And Mark O'Mara's taking lessons from a pro. They're playing with a team of independent financial advisors. And starting now with Charles Schwab, the official investment firm of the PGA Tour. Innovative tools, a network of advisors, so no matter how things go off the tee, someone is helping take care of the green. Visit any Schwab branch and get investing the way it should be.
Cincinnati's News 5 weather, sponsored by Heater Meals, the meal with a stove inside.
Where are you going to eat your heater meals today?
Anywhere I'm working. Heater Meals heats itself.
Everything to heat and eat your heater meals is right in the box, including the water that starts the heater. In minutes, you've got a piping hot 3/4-pound heater meals.
Great hot food, anytime I'm hungry.
Heater meals equal more time for me.
6 delicious heater meals. Where are you going to eat your heater meals today?
You know, as bad as this flooding has been, and it has been so horrible for so many families, it has actually been worse.
Yeah, history has a way of putting things in perspective, and meteorologist Dave Frazier is with us to give us a little bit of that perspective.
And it's tough to put it into perspective and tell people that it's been worse when they're out there battling it as they are right now. You know, raging floods and the devastation that comes with them are not new to the tri-state. News 5's meteorologist Todd Warren has a look now at the history of the mighty Ohio.
As with many river cities, Cincinnati has suffered a history of floods. Snowstorms and heavy rains pounded the tri-state in March of last year. Anderson Township had flooded roads and high water signs were posted for drivers. This aerial view of the flooding in 1995 shows the impact of the swollen Ohio River. For many years in tri-state history, March has roared like a lion with rushing floods. The flood of 1964 is memorable among them, but none compared to the flood of 1937, which began in the end of January and caused massive flooding for 19 days. Water rose to nearly 80 feet. The Coast Guard launched rescue boats from 3rd and Vine Streets. Of the 350 square miles of Hamilton County, 45 miles were underwater. Remarkably, only 8 people lost their lives.
And again, the Ohio continues to rise at this hour, a very challenging situation for those situated along its banks. Take a look at the latest information that we have now on the Ohio. At Cincinnati, it stands at a little better than 63.2. As a matter of fact, the update now is 63.29 feet It is expected to crest at 64 feet at 7 o'clock tomorrow night, about 24 hours, a little more than 24 hours from right now. And again, this is the worst flooding we have seen since 1964, as Todd indicated, when it hit 66.2 feet. Next, Rad Doppler 5 showing the rainstorm that is going to bring us additional moisture to the area. Rain we do not need. It does not look like much right now, but on ahead of this weak little storm system, the atmosphere later tonight on a southwesterly wind will become saturated once again, setting the stage for the potential of what could be some heavy rain. So here's how it plays out. The clouds have broken up. We've had some sunshine through the evening. I think we keep a few clouds around tonight, but they increase as we go through the late evening hours. And again, on a southwesterly wind, the moisture returns. The rain is not far off to our south and west. After midnight tonight and towards daybreak tomorrow, the rain will develop, first as showers and then becoming a more steady rain across the area as the storm system pushes through the region. How much rain are we looking at across the area as this storm system pushes through on the day? Well, it looks like we could see as much as an inch or an inch and a quarter far to the south and east, not over the areas that got hit hard this last round, but even over them, there is the potential for as much as a half an inch. And if you pick up an isolated thunderstorm, you can just throw this out the window because thunderstorms don't have any rules as far as rainfall potential. They can drop as much as they can in an hour, maybe 2 inches in an hour. We'll keep an eye on thunderstorms. Right now, because of the potential for that heavy rain, Brown, Adams, and Highland County in our area are under a flash flood watch for the day Wednesday, so it's not over yet. Take a look at the forecast for your evening hours, just a few clouds around and 50 degrees. It is a mild evening out there, but as we go through the late night hours, the clouds increase. The rain arrives after midnight. We drop to 45. In the morning, showers as you commute out. It will be breezy as well, and during the afternoon, we top out at 51 early, but then temperatures fall. The rain could be heavy at times, and again, we'll keep you posted on the flash flooding. Take a look at the next 5 days. We only got a one-day break from the rain today. Our next break comes on Thursday and Friday before we get a few more showers around on Saturday and Sunday. And just 24 hours ago, we were talking about only a quarter of an inch for the tri-state for rain. We have now upped that, obviously, to a half. We will have to very seriously watch the weekend rain, which doesn't look significant, but could change as we get closer.
Okay, it keeps coming.
Yep.
Thanks, Dave. We've been telling you for the past hour and a half about a long list of roads closed around the area because of the flooding. Northern Kentucky is no exception. All streets north of 2nd Street in Newport and Covington are closed to traffic. That includes Riverboat Row. And now the brand new Taylor Southgate Bridge has been closed to traffic because the Ohio end is underwater. As you can see from Sky 5, the base of that bridge isn't all that's underwater. So is most of Pete Rose Way. You're asked to avoid this area if possible, and please use your common sense while driving near low-lying areas. Also closed tonight is a large section of Route 8 in Boone County.
We're going to shift gears now. The Bengals looked over some free agents today.
And there's a new guy in the Bengals broadcast booth. Sports News is up next.
Morning Drive, sports anchoring. If you see news happening, call 352-5011 or star TV5 on your AirTouch cellular phone.
Pizza Hut employee memo number 13, public speaking. Well, it's time to talk about something other than our great pizza.
Vacation.
No, dinner. And telling folks that we're the place to get it. So tell them what you want them to do.
Call now.
Let's work on that delivery.
Call now.
That's better.
Call now.
All together now.
Call now.
Shout it from the rooftops.
For insurance purposes, maybe that's not such a good idea.
Call now. Great. Now stand by the phones and get ready. Because with pizza like this, you're going to get lots of calls. Making it great again and again.
Have you heard about the newest and smartest way to buy carpet? It's buying direct from the factory at Bigelow Carpet Factory Outlet right here in Cincinnati. We are the factory outlet, so you save 20 to 70% off traditional retail every day. Plus, through this month only, you'll get special factory financing with no payments, no interest for 6 months. Carpet shipments arrive almost daily with over 2,000 colors and styles in stock. You've never bought carpet like this before, and remember, no payments, no interest for 6 months. Bigelow Carpet Factory Outlet, 3100 West Galbraith at Coleraine.
Here's some folks to tell you why the Ford Contour is such a great car.
I shopped around and I like all the safety features of my Contour. I knew that it did have airbags, which was important to me. I got an excellent deal on my Contour.
Now, get a Ford Contour with $1,350 cash back or 3.9 financing.
I have plenty of room, though, to take passengers, definitely. Usually it fits about 5 comfortably.
See your Tri-State Quality Ford dealer, where there's more to afford.
I love my Contour so much, I married the salesman.
Education has to be number one. I want the best for my son.
The one thing that parents of Sylvan children have in common is the value they place on education.
I have to decide what he's going to benefit from most in the long run.
When a child leaves Sylvan Learning Center, that child has the self-confidence and the skills to succeed.
Sylvan is worth every penny because I've seen the difference in his grades, and that's what, you know, we both wanted.
I love it because I see success every day.
Sylvan Learning Center, now enrolling for SAT. Call 1-800-EDUCATE today. That's 1-800-EDUCATE.
Shopping for free agents in the NFL is a lot like shopping for a used car. The players have had enough time to prove they're not a lemon. Now you have to check under the hood and make sure the parts aren't too worn. The Bengals were doing that today. They had Patriots linebacker Todd Collins and Seahawks cornerback Corey Harris in today.
For me, it went really well. It was a really good situation. I felt comfortable. I feel like the organization is going up. I have the talent to get to the big dance. A defensive coach who is developed a defense that is still trying to be figured out. And so a head coach who, you know, in his stint last year was 7-2. So to me, everything was all positive.
So I played in the 3-4 at the inside linebacker position, you know, 3 years with Parcells in that defense. So I've got some experience at that. And so, you know, it's exciting, but let's just hope things can work out the way both sides would like.
We wouldn't have had him in here unless we're interested. You know how we work. We're not going to have a free flight for anybody. You know.
Yes, the frugal Bengals. Also today, the Bengals introduced their new play-by-play man. Pete Arbogast will be the voice of the Bengals this coming season. Pete's the former play-by-play announcer for the University of Southern California and the LA Clippers in the NBA. Arbogast and Dave Lapham will team up to bring the games on Score 1160 and B105. And coming up at 6, we're going to check out spring training. The Reds down there trying to snap a 3-game losing streak today.
Okay.
All right.
Look forward to it. Thanks a lot.
George. Wire Live team coverage of Flood Watch 97 continues.
Up next on News 5 at 6 o'clock, school closings, road closings, and the latest weather forecast.
I'm John London on about 15 feet of water right now in Silver Grove, and you can see the flooded out trailers behind me. How one community copes. Coming up on Cincinnati's News 5.